the fifth and final day of the first test, Salil, and we've got rain playing, its part here, and probably there will be not much cricket in the first session, Salil. How bad is it? How bad is it for India and for just test cricket in general?
The rains have always saved, made somebody's day or really ruined somebody's day, and that's exactly what they've done. I mean, if cricket's not happening, then it's not good for anybody. It might save a team, it might just help another one, but we don't have a choice. I don't think India required to play the entire 90 overs to score the
Yeah.
157 runs required, and if we get around 50 overs of play today, you can imagine India chasing it. I think they need only 50 overs to chase.
But Salil, it will become more like a one-day international and not a test match. And there'll be some pressure on the batsman to take those nervous singles or fish outside the off stump, because thinking that yeah, there are limited balls left now from a winning position, we don't want to draw this match. So that is something that could play its part because of the rains, isn't it, Salil?
Absolutely. I think if we go back in time around 10, 15 years, you wouldn't imagine India chasing 150 runs in two sessions at all. In fact, no other team would have done that. But
Correct.
with the advent of white ball cricket and T20 cricket, they can make a situation in such a way that like you rightly said, you can create it like a one-day match and or a T20 match for all you know if they have just 30 runs, 30 overs to play, and there's no reason why they can't chase it. So I mean, it's just about a mentality shift, and most of the guys who are playing this match are also playing the other two formats as well. So I mean, there's it's quite simple to understand that India is not going to wait back and wait for whatever they're going to play. It'll be on the merit of the situation.
And the English bowlers and the captain will be talking that hopefully it rains a bit more, and it makes this a T20 like scenario for India, where India do not know and they would be vulnerable as to go for the chase or just block it out and just play on the merit. So that is something that England will be hoping for, and also that England will be bowling their overs really slowly, Salil, because they are in no hurry to win this match. They would take their time and just bowl around 20-22 overs in one session if they have to.
Yeah, obviously they'll be slower by an over or two, but not so much. I think the match referee would watch that. And besides, I think if the pitch is playing really decent. I don't think there's an issue in spite of the rain 2 days ago. I think it played brilliantly. The sun is out. The ball is coming nicely onto the bat. The only thing the Indian batsmen need to be wary of is the first 50 runs is where you don't need to lose many wickets, because then that changes the situation entirely, and a couple of wickets here and there more would really put India in some trouble if they have around 15-20 overs to play and they're 6 wickets down. Then the match could swing England's way.
Yes.
Um, Having said that, I think yes, obviously it's not going to be easy to beat England, which was one of the contenders for the World Test Championship. But at the
Yes.
same time, I think the Indian batting is one of the best batting lineups to tour around the world, and they've proved that in Australia. And I think they've got a very good chance to do that again here in Trent Bridge.
Absolutely, Salil. Great point that. And just talking more about the Indian batting, if you look at the scorecard from yesterday, India look at us, in a very solid and comfortable position at the moment, how things stand here. But with the rains coming into picture, Salil, do you think it's going to change the dynamic completely of how India's approach is towards this test? Because playing a 90 over game, like you said earlier a few minutes back, and playing a 50 over or a curtailed innings, it's going to be obviously difficult, and the pitch also might play differently, you think, Sahil, or it's going to be true to its bounce?
It'll be true to its bounce. There will be a slight dampness, but it won't make that much of a difference. I think if they get to play, the only difference would be if it's overcast and when the ball starts swinging really. I mean, for the English bowlers. Otherwise, I don't think from a pitch perspective it might make a difference to the batting. As we saw them yesterday, it was slightly overcast and sunny during India's short stint at batting later on in the day. But I think it was quite easy for the batsmen to score those runs. You just have to put the bad balls away. That's what the good batsmen have done in this test match, and I think our batters know what to do.
Absolutely. And a big chance here for Pujara as well. to get some form back because he was looking a bit rusty. No big hundreds, I must say. He was not rusty at all, but no big hundreds on his name. So you think today could be a day where he could, playing the most toughest of conditions is where the best batsmen, prove their worth. And today is a chance for Pujara to do that. Salil, do you think it's his day today?
Well, it's set up really nicely for him. There is really not much pressure if you're from the Indian dressing room, and you just have 157 runs to make. Yes, rain is a factor, but given the fact that you would have 90 overs or 80 overs or 70 overs, there is a lot of time for Pujara to get set and take his team home. And I think that will really boost his confidence, not just for this match, but setting up the test series really nicely because there are four more to go, and there might be even more difficult conditions than Nottingham. So I think Pujara is somebody who really needs to be back in form because the minute he's back in form, Kohli starts looking a lot different than what he
Yeah,
is when Pujara gets out early cheaply. So I think this would be a good time for him to find his form back.
definitely. And Salil, on the non-strikers end, on the other end for Pujara, there'll be Rohit Sharma. I know he's your favorite player. I know you really, rate him highly, and the ability that he possesses to play any kind of cricket, red ball cricket, white ball cricket. He's made sure that he's become this opener in the team, and he's fixed his place, kind of fixed his place in this playing 11 and in this, bunch of 20, 25 players. But do you think today could be a day where he could get a chance to play that one day like innings? And similarly could put pressure on the English bowlers because we know the ruthlessness of this young lad.
Oh, absolutely. I think being a stronghold of the Indian batting for the last, I think, 5 or 7 years, and probably the best one-day batsman currently.
Yeah,
I think Rohit Sharma really possesses what it takes to win the match. Either whether you have to play 90 overs or whether you have to finish the game in 20 overs. I think there's no reason why he cannot shift gears and remind us of his colored jersey days where he's hitting the white ball probably anywhere around the ground. So there's no reason why Rohit Sharma shouldn't carry his bat either. I think if the situation requires him to be aggressive and play like the Rohit Sharma we know, um, he'd absolutely do that. I think he had really found his rhythm in the first innings, and like I said, while I was watching it so closely, I think that there was a slight loss of concentration due to which he went for that pull. Otherwise, there was no reason why he's getting out. I think he's leaving all the balls outside the off stump. He's defending the balls very well. He's coming on top of it. He's covering the line of the ball. I think he's in a position to also negate some kind of swing with the kind of technique and the time that he possesses. So these are the factors I feel why he's extremely lethal, and England would
yes,
want his wicket to fall first more than Pujara or Kohli.
absolutely. And Salil, oh, here's a fan question. I think Pujara, Rohit, and Virat will be finishing this one off easily. Go Team India. Okay. Jnanesh here. Salil, what's your take on this comment? Do you think that this is more of an optimistic hope from an Indian fan or a cry from an Indian fan than more of
Yes,
a
Jnanesh
realistic
and
view?
a billion others are hoping for the same. And
Yeah.
like I said, I mean, there's a lot of talent that the team possesses, and 157 is really an easy score. It's not so difficult. I don't think the conditions are extremely difficult as of now, unless it gets really overcast and somebody picks up 2 wickets in 2 balls and suddenly changes the match. Unless there is some drama and some real, excellent cricketing effort by the English bowlers, these batsmen have it what it takes to easily take India through 150 runs.
Yes, and Salil, just to remind you, speaking of Rohit Sharma, he has got so many hundreds in the last World Cup that it won't be a big task for him if you just make it a 50 over scenario. It won't be a big task for him because of the form that he had and the amount of runs that he has scored on these grounds. But Salil, just to finish it off, I know we've covered most points here. Do you think that it's a lot of pressure on England as well? Because if at all it becomes a one day like scenario, do England attack? Do they just hold back and let them take the singles? But the match keeps coming closer and closer. So that is where Joe Root needs to take that bold decision of whether to go all in or just to hold back and see that Indians make a mistake and not the English.
Well, that's a good point, Yash. I really think what Joe Root would be thinking right now is one, the score is really less, so we
Yeah,
don't need to leak as many runs. So if you strap the Indian batsmen for runs, if you give around 10 or 12 runs, maybe in the first 10 overs by bowling tightly and not giving them much room, then the Indian batsmen may try to look at scoring runs in a cheeky way, and possibly then there is a window of taking a wicket. So, I mean, having said that, the English bowlers do possess what it takes, to take 9 wickets in this match, and it should be a close, contested game. They're not going to give it up easily, but at the same time, they'd like to drag it as much as possible, knowing that there is a rain forecast all throughout the day today.
Yes.
So they'll really be hoping that, because if there's no rain, if you remove the rain factor, 9 out of 10 times or 8 out of 10 times, India would be winning.
Yes, nice modesty you showed there, giving England two things, giving 2 out of 10 because of their home advantage and just the talent that they possess. So excellent. Thank you so much, Salil. I think we should hope for some action in this session, literally, because that's what this test has been about. It's been ups and downs. It's been a cliffhanger, and finally, when day four was such an exciting day of cricket, and now in the on the fifth day we are getting a weather forecast that it might probably rain most of the time. So we'll have a, we'll have to wait and watch what happens. So thank you for joining with me, everyone. This was Sports Adda Live. Hope to see you in the lunch show as well.
Thanks, Yash.